Alright, so here we go, continuing on with a rather not very tidy workstation. Anyway, in the past two parts we got this much done. So we're going to do the eyes now, and then put the ears on, and then we'll be done with the head and this part probably. So for the eyes, we're going to use the actual white, not so much the pale white, and we're going to make a circle and put it right where we put our thumbs and flatten the area. Like this. And that's actually, it's a very good circle, but Peppy's eyes have a slight oval to them, and they're rather small. So I would say like that. That's pretty good. We're going to do it again to the other side that we flattened with our thumb, like I said, and we get this. Now we're going to take some red. Do I have any red open? I do have red open, but his eyes are kind of dark red, and we're going to have to use this anyway for his clothes, which I'm hoping I have enough for, actually. And this is a really precautionary moment because this red is really vibrant and gets sparkles and the redness all over your hand, so be very careful when handling this epitome of really light colors that red is going to bleed into like you wouldn't believe. So, be careful in that regard, but I'm going to take some red for the pupil and put it. This is actually a note too where I'm kind of messing up where to put it, or the clay is not going off my hand very well. So you should be careful in that regard, because even if you don't put the clay down, it's still leaving an imprint, a very light imprint of red on the clay. So, wow, I don't know why it's not sticking. So you should be careful in that regard as well. And what the heck? Come on, Peppy. Alright, well, I'll just kind of fix it like that. Alright, so that's that. We're going to do it again. Come on. Like this. Making sure you get all the way to the edge of the white. Now, we're going to put a black small pupil over that, but you still want to see the red around the edge, but you just want the black over it. So we are doing that, and the black is a lot better. It's not sticking to my hand, and red isn't going to bleed into it like you wouldn't believe. And as you place the layers over the white of this eye, you want to make sure that the white doesn't kind of bleed over and the red doesn't bleed over when you're pushing down. Keep that in mind. Now we're going to add a small bit of white, a very small bit, down here. That actually might be a little too big. Sometimes I'm not really as picky about my stuff, and I'm like, oh, even if the little shine's a little bigger, it's okay, but in certain cases, and I guess Peppy is one of those cases, it has to be smaller. The smaller looks better. So like that, right there. Then do it again. In the same spot, actually, on the other eye, even though it's a different eye. It needs to be in the same spot. Like that. And this is what we got going so far, and it really doesn't look like Peppy right now, because we need to add the ears. So I'm going to take a toothpick, and I recommend you use toothpicks for this. And I'm going to turn it slowly into this ear. You don't need to put it like very far in. And then his ears are right on the top of his head. So we got one like that. I might just push this down a little bit. You get a better sense of how big the ear is once it's actually on him. And then I'm kind of just gonna go around and flatten this, make it look a little bit better. Get rid of all the seams that you can still see. And then we got this. And now I guess it's kind of good that I only made one ear before, because now we can kind of make the other in this part. So if you missed it the first time, which, just for the record, if you're watching this, I don't really know how you would have missed it, but maybe the video skipped or something, I don't know. We can make another one in this part and then put that ear on. And this part should be under 10 minutes, and I could go on, but I'm not really gonna, I don't really want to start a whole another area. It's about the same size, but it might change a little bit as we put it on. Flatten that white piece. Need some more of this white. I'm going to put it on the inside of the ear like this. You don't have to kind of push down. Maybe you can just hold it with, you know, these two fingers and then just push like this all the way down, because that kind of evens it out really nicely. But you don't want to kind of, you know, push just like without anything beneath it, you know, just push, because then you're going to flatten the whole ear and stuff. So I think that's pretty good. Then we can kind of take a measure. So let's see, maybe right here we can cut it off. Be careful that you don't put the toothpick too far to one side, because then it'll either poke out this way or poke out that way. You want to put it right in the middle, and then you can kind of make sure that it's right in the middle by, you know, doing that thing that we were doing before, because if it's in the middle, then it won't poke out and you won't really be able to feel it or anything. Then we're going to slowly put this up top here and do the same thing. Take care of all the seams, and I had to push this ear down a little bit, so make sure the toothpick doesn't poke out the top of the ear. I'm just going to do a couple little things. Maybe flatten the ear slightly. Curve it at the top. Some perfectionistic things, they're going to bother me if I don't do them. And just like that, we have Peppy Hare's head at the end of 3 parts. So I'm not actually going to show you guys right now, but I'm just going to put it next to Fox, and it's actually a pretty decent scale with Fox. So I'll probably show that at the conclusion when I talk about, you know, my final thoughts on the model. So far, we got this much done. I got to tidy this area up, and then we'll work on the body next time. Thanks for watching, and until the next part, yeah, stay tuned.